The heterogeneity in individual responses to meal timing interventions motivates a shift from population-level recommendations toward personalized optimization through N of 1 trial methodologies. These single-subject experimental designs allow individuals to systematically test different eating windows while monitoring relevant outcomes to identify their optimal pattern. Developing standardized yet flexible N of 1 protocols for meal timing could democratize personalization without requiring expensive genetic or biomarker testing. The basic framework involves establishing baseline patterns through 1 to 2 weeks of monitoring without intervention, including continuous glucose monitoring, sleep tracking via actigraphy or wearables, meal timing and content logging, and daily surveys assessing hunger, energy, mood, and adherence difficulty. The individual then implements a specific eating window for 2 to 4 weeks while continuing monitoring, allowing physiological and behavioral adaptation. Key outcome metrics are identified a priori based on individual goals: glycemic control for diabetes risk, sleep quality for insomnia, body composition for weight management, or digestive symptoms for gastrointestinal issues. After the intervention period, a return to baseline or implementation of an alternative eating window creates comparison data. Multiple iterations can test different window timings or durations. Statistical analysis for N of 1 trials differs from group-level approaches, focusing on within-person differences in outcomes between conditions rather than between person comparisons. Time series methods and interrupted time series analyses assess whether outcome trajectories change following intervention implementation beyond natural variation. For individuals implementing multiple eating windows, direct pairwise comparisons identify which patterns optimize their specific outcome priorities. The approach requires engagement and numeracy to interpret results, but modern visualization tools can present glucose patterns, sleep metrics, and symptom trends accessibly. Importantly, N of 1 trials acknowledge that optimal patterns may change over time with life circumstances, encouraging periodic reassessment rather than assuming permanent solutions. Case studies illustrate the approach's value. One individual with prediabetes discovered through N of 1 testing that a 10-hour eating window starting at 8 a.m. improved average glucose and reduced variability more than earlier or later windows, despite literature suggesting earlier windows superior population-wide. Another person found that eating windows shorter than 10 hours triggered increased binge eating and worsened mood, while 12-hour windows felt sustainable without metabolic benefit, leading to abandonment of time restriction in favor of other health behaviors. These personalized insights would be impossible from population-level trial participation and highlight the limitations of applying average findings to individuals. The primary barrier to widespread N of 1 implementation involves technology access and health literacy requirements. Continuous glucose monitors, activity trackers, and smartphone apps for data integration remain expensive and require comfort with technology. Interpretation requires basic statistical thinking and willingness to accept uncertainty when signals are weak. Support from healthcare providers familiar with N of 1 methodology would improve feasibility, but requires training and compensation structures that incentivize this time-intensive personalization work. Despite barriers, the N of 1 approach represents an empowering framework for individuals motivated to optimize their health through experimentation rather than passively following population-derived guidelines. As monitoring technology becomes more accessible and analytics more automated, this methodology may increasingly complement or replace one-size-fits-all dietary recommendations.